Good morning, operators. Stand by. Stand by. Coffee's hot, frequency's alive. 145.430. You're listening to the morning hum. This is the Coffee Break Net. Steam rising but the sunrise glows. Signals bouncing nice and low. Foothill light and silicon sky. Morning check-ins rolling by. Call sign ready, mic in hand. Voices drifting through the band. RF dancing in the air. Someone's mobile somewhere out there. Keyed up, drop your sign. One at a time, you're sounding fine. Sip so don't rush the day. Net control will lead the way. Coffee on the console, radio's awake. Morning on the machine, give and take. Voices in the speaker, smooth and clean. So like riding on the beam. Checking out, don't hesitate. This is how we caffeinate. From the hills to the bay. W6EK Echo starts the day. Check here. AllStarLink been feeling strong. Echolink brings friends along. Mobile bass or handheld tight. Everyone sounding right. Morning traffic rolling through. Signal reports 5x2. Laughing in between the keys. Coffee cup and beeper R's. Mic drop, carry a tone. You're never really alone. One more round, take your place. Good vibes on the interface. Coffee on the console, radio's awake. Morning on the machine, give and take. Voices in the speaker, smooth and clean. Sunlight riding on the beam. Check it out. Don't hesitate. This is how we caffeinate. Morning voices, RF stream. Coffee break, live on the machine. Good morning, operators. Stand by. Coffee's hot. Frequency's alive. Good morning, operators. Stand by. Good morning. Voices. Stand by. Stand by. Good morning, operators. Stand by. Stand by. Good morning, operators. Stand by. Stand by.
Good morning, y'all, and welcome to the Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater located in Auburn, California. The Coffee Break Net, where the sun is always shining, the birds are singing, and the fish are jumping. This net is sponsored by the Sierra Foothills Amateur Radio Club in Northern California, and we're here every day of the week from 7:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Time. Please welcome your net control host and conversation facilitator for today's Coffee Break Net, Brian, AI6US, checking in from beautiful Meadow Vista, California. Let's get the Coffee Break Net underway. Sure hopes to get Ma picking up truck and old hound dog back real soon like.
Hi. Top of the morning to you. You know what day today is? Today is St. Patrick's Day. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Coffee Break Net here on the W6EK Repeater. I am Brian AI6US, and it is a beautiful, beautiful day shaping up here in Northern California. Hopefully it is a great day wherever you might be. Let's see, let's go through and see what the other days of the week are, and or the days of the year, and then we'll start taking some check-ins. Today, I just first of all want to say, coming up on March 20th, just 3 days away, we're going to be celebrating our 6th anniversary of the Coffee Break Net. Looks like we have about almost 73,000 check-ins over the past 6 years. So, yeah, join us this Friday when Tom, N6H, will be your net control operator. And I've invited all of the Coffee Break Net control operators to stop by and maybe share a special memory or something they remember that happened over the past 6 years. So anyway, that's going to be this Friday. This Friday will be a special 6th anniversary edition of the Coffee Break Net. And let's see, today, of course, is St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day. The tradition started in, I believe, in the U.S., I believe in New York, and it has kind of spread to be a worldwide phenomenon. So, the day when everybody can be Irish. Big surprise, today is Corned Beef and Cabbage Day. But did you know that Corned Beef and Cabbage Day was kind of an invention also here in the U.S., because it was created to kind of fit the budget of Irish Americans who were not able to afford their homeland's pork and potatoes. So, yeah, Corned Beef and Cabbage Day, kind of created out of necessity. Today is World Social Worker Day, recognizing the value and the services that social workers provide to our society. And today is National 3D Day. Whatever happened to that big rage when all of us were going to soon have a 3D monitor and 3D programming in our home? People were out buying 3D TVs. Well, those of us in the film and video production industry knew that was never going to catch on in a big way. We knew what it took to shoot 3D and of course to edit and everything else. Yeah, 3D Day. Grab your 3D glasses, sit back, and enjoy the Coffee Break Net in vivid, bizarre colors this morning. Welcome to the Coffee Break Net. Let's go ahead and get the Coffee Break Net underway with a round of check-ins. Let's start with some folks in Northern California. So if you are in Northern California, doesn't matter if you're coming in through RF or through a connected repeater or node, going to invite operators in Northern California to check in first, and then we'll move into and take check-ins in this first round for other folks coming in through the internet. So Northern California stations first, please.
Good morning, Brian and Nick. Kilo Golf 6, November, Lima Whiskey.
Kilo Delta 6, Charlie Delta Quebec, Rick in North Island.
Kilo 6 Delta X-ray November. Good morning, Net.
All right. Got the folks out of Northern California. This is who I heard. K6DXN, KD6CDQ, N6EKV, and KG6NLW. Did I miss anyone? All right. Let's check in and see who is coming in through the internet. Remember, these are for quick in and outs. Keep your check-ins to 2 minutes or less. But let's finish out our list with anybody checking in through the internet elsewhere.
KJ5 W6EK November. This is W6EK Terrence from Paris, California, the repeater phone.
Kilo Delta 3 Alpha Juliet November, KD3AJN.
KB6ED.
All right. Good morning, Ed, KB6ED, and good morning to Anna, KD3AJN. And good morning, KO6CGU. I think you said out of Torrance, California, I believe. And good morning to Will, KJ5 Golf Whiskey November. Good morning, Simone, K6DXN. Good morning to Rick, KD6Q. And good morning to Carl, N6CKV. And good morning to Frank, KG6NLW. Did I miss anyone?
KA3 BGM.
And KA3VGM. Good morning to you, Jimmy. All right, up to the top. And just a reminder, these are quick in and outs. Please keep your check-ins to under 2 minutes, and I am flipping the soft egg timer now. Good morning, Frank, KG6NLW.
Good morning, Brian and Lynette. Frank, KG6NLW here, as hopefully everybody knows. You know, Brian, your intro this morning, before you actually came on, you want to know what voice that reminded me of this morning? That reminded me of a mix of Adam West and Sam Elliott. That was wonderful. I was like, wait a second, is that Sam Elliott or Adam West, or is it Sam West? Oh boy. Anyway, not much going on here. Looks like it's shaping up to be a beautiful day in Cloverdale. Another heat warning day though, so we'll see what happens. Yesterday, 85 degrees. Youch. Yeah, we get so in Cloverdale, we get as hot as Sacramento, if not smidge hotter, depending upon the day of the week. So I'm not looking forward to summer if this is what it already is. Other than that, I've worked out some more audio bugs here, so things should be less hot for you, Brian. And of course, you know, if you want to know how you sound coming into the Coffee Break Net or anywhere else, yeah, there's Broadcastify, but if you want to catch it live, there's YouTube. KG6NLW. Back to you, Brian. Good morning.
Yep, and I think you need to work on the YouTube audio a bit more, too, because I don't think that's very representative comparing it to Broadcastify. So maybe that can get tuned up a bit as well, as long as you're working on things. But yeah, your audio is remarkably better, so congrats to you. Well, yeah, 85 in Cloverdale, you know, that's crazy for this time of year. And we are off to set some more records later on in this week. So that's way too hot for this time of year. Frank, have a wonderful day. KG6NLW, AI6US, and you have a great day at 7-3.
Oh, I will do my best here, and, well, thank you. I'll work with I'm literally working with a retired audio engineer on the whole YouTube side, and I'm pretty sure we got things worked out, but I'll have him listen back and see what he thinks. Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, I listened to, I think it was, I'm trying to remember what days I played it back a little bit. It might have been yesterday. But yeah, maybe he retired and left his ears behind. Sorry, I'm a bit blunt because I come from the film and video and audio industry. So if we're talking good audio, that's what we talk about. KG6 in LW. You have a wonderful day, and yeah, it's going to be a hot one. In 6CK good morning, Carl.
Good morning, Brian, and everyone else out there. Well, you're mentioning about 3D stuff. Reminding me, I used to go, because I worked for a company, to the National Computer Conference down in Anaheim, and there was a company there that had a screen attached to basically a speaker and would go in and out, and they would project various images as it was going in and out to create an artificial 3D look. It didn't work that well.
Interesting. So that was probably back in the era of psychedelic drugs, and so this thing would change colors and refractions based on the audio driving.
No, it attempted to do 3D by putting slightly different images on the screen that was being driven by a speaker. So it would be going in and out and kind of create a depth image.
Very interesting. I can see that hanging on the wall with a log lamp on each side and a black light and my velvet posters. How interesting. You know, these 3D things I think have always mesmerized us, but, you know, it's definitely a novelty. I don't know about you, but, you know, I've tried different glasses, whether they just be optical filtered or even electronic switching. And, you know, my brain can only take so much before I start getting a headache. How about you?
Well, I agree with you, Brian. Yeah, I know that speaker thing didn't need special glasses. It was trying to do it without glasses. Anyway, that's all I had. Everyone have a happy St. Patrick's Day. N6CKV, have a good Tuesday. And hi to Lynn, 73.
Well, good morning to you, Carl, and good morning to Ruth, and you have a wonderful day as well. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Good morning, Rick, KD6CDQ.
Top of the morning to you there, Brian, in the net. Yes, wonderful St. Patty's Day, and I am already hot and at it. After all, it takes a long time to get that brisket nice and cooked, so got the brisket in the pot, got the shamrock in my pocket, and I got a bunch of Guinness on ice, so come 5, 6 o'clock tonight, I am going to be in hog heaven. Bless you all. Happy St. Patrick's Day. KD6CDQ, 73s.
Rick, just a word of warning. I remember what happened last time you were cooking up a big, delicious meal. I think you slept through it and ate it around midnight. So maybe start celebrating a little earlier tonight. And oh, that sounds great. Guinness and a brisket. You're celebrating the day. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Top of the morning.
Me won't worry. I've been sleeping all night, got up this morning at 6 o'clock, and got busy filling up that crock pot. So I'm ahead of the game. 73s again.
All right, Rick. Top of the morning again. KD6 CDQ AI 6US Coffee Break Net. Hey, good morning, Simone. K6DXN. What do you have for us this morning? Top of the morning.
Hey, Brian, good morning. Good morning to you and everyone on the net. Not a whole bunch. It's Irish Day. My wife is Irish, so always corned beef and cabbage and potatoes and carrots. I'm sure she's going to be putting that in the crock pot to simmer all day. House will be smelling good. So I was looking at these, I think I'm pulling the trigger on some of these side rails that people 3D print on Etsy. Surprisingly, there's all kinds of ham radio stuff on Etsy. I'm sure a lot of people know that, but if you didn't, people don't think to look on Etsy for ham radio gear. Think again. All sorts of stuff on there. I find it more interesting than eBay, where people are trying to sell their 40-year-old boat anchor for what they paid for it. I know it's a bit of an exaggeration, but you know what I mean. Yeah, so these side rails look pretty cool. You just kind of tilt the radio up a little bit. You can get them in all different colors, maybe add some flair to your radio. There's all sorts of stuff on there. So anyway, I'm doing that. I'm going to upload a couple videos here to my channel that I shot yesterday. I did a surprise, did a POTA with Jimmy yesterday up above Sly Park at a place we like to call Camp Tom. And yeah, it did well. I mean, the bands were a lot better yesterday than they were 2 days ago. Boy, there was some rough couple days there, but yesterday went well. We got about 40 contacts. We activated 20 and 17, and the usual suspects, but always nice to hang out with Jimmy, and man, what a beautiful, beautiful day. Beautiful. Last couple days been really beautiful.
Beautiful to the point of actually being a little hot. It's, I hope we get a little return back to some springtime weather. I hate to think that this is just the beginning of our summer. Well, very good. Glad to hear that you got a POTA in yesterday, and sounds like we'll look forward to seeing some videos of that. Did not know Dawn is Irish, so enjoy your corned beef and cabbage today. And yeah, Etsy, I have noticed, has a lot of creative things for amateur radio operators. Nice tie-in to printing your 3D rails. Of course, that's one of the prizes we are going to be having at the Ham Fest coming up on the 28th. A bamboo A1 mini printer. So anybody looking to get into it, it's one of the better starter units out there. Simone, have a wonderful day. K6DXN, AI6US. Have a wonderful St. Patrick's Day.
You as well, K6DXN.
All right, clearing with Simone. Let's check in with Will now in Oklahoma City, KJ5GWN.
Good morning, Brian. Yep, it's Will, KJ5 Golf Whiskey November. In a somewhat cool Oklahoma City, going to get up to a high of about 70 today. Supposed to get warmer tomorrow. Near record highs and possibly breaking records by this weekend as far as high temperatures go in the mid-90s, which is hot for March for us. The hottest March that I've heard of so far today has been 97 degrees way back in 1907, which is Oklahoma statehood. So it got plenty hot, I'm sure, back then. So anyway, hopefully we don't get that hot this weekend. Supposed to cool down in the 70s by next week, so back to more spring-like weather early part of next week. So anyway, happy St. Patrick's Day, Brian, and you have a good day out there. This is KJ5 Golf Whiskey November.
All right, Will. Yeah, crazy weather. Kind of a roller coaster for you in Oklahoma, especially from the cold, the wind, the heat, the highs. Crazy, crazy winter year. KJ5, GWN, AI6US. Thanks for checking in this morning, Will. Cleared with Will. Let's head on and check in with KO6CGU. I believe you said out of Torrance, California. Good morning. KO6CGU, are you there? Don't know who you are, where you're from, so you're not on the list. Darn it. All righty. Good morning to, I believe, Anna. Good morning, Anna. KD3AJN.
Good morning, Brian, and everyone else on the net today. Well, I'm a little under the weather today. Picked up something from somebody, probably my grandkids. But it's cold here. It's 23 degrees, and we had probably 2 to 3 inches of snow last night, which can go away anytime.
Sounds like you are just done with it for the season. Yeah. Well, you know, we're still officially in winter, and it just keeps reminding us. Yeah, the little grandkids. Introduction back to the little Petri dishes. I was FaceTiming with my daughter on Sunday, and my little granddaughter, she was sneezing, coughing, and little boogers, and it's like, my daughter goes, you know, before we had kids, I was never sick.
Hey, that's true, you know. I was surprised, though. I was all winter. My grandkids have been sick off and on, and I've been around them and haven't picked up anything. But finally, I guess it got to me, and it was my turn. So, happy Patrick's Day to everyone, and have a great day. KD3AJN.
Well, Puxadani Phil definitely predicted you were going to have a little more winter, but hopefully you get that springtime weather coming for you soon. Feel better, Anna, and we'll chat with you maybe again tomorrow. KD3AJN AI6US. Hey, good morning, Ed. Happy Taco Tuesday, KB6ED.
Good morning, Brian and the net. Yeah, 3D Day, and happy Taco Tuesday to you too, Brian. But 3D Day, I mentioned last year that there was a stretch there where I was really into 3D photography. I'm thinking back, I took some pictures of that amazing banyan tree in Lahaina in 3D, and some pictures there along First Street. I've got a really cool picture of some bicycles parked there. It turned out really interesting, parked there on First Street. But and I compiled a book called Hawaii in Depth of my 3D pictures. But anyway, they're called the anaglyphs technically, and the type with red and blue lenses that you view with red and blue glasses. And I have a website, rubyblue.com. But one of the cool things about AI these days is you can take any picture that you've taken and upload it and ask AI to convert it to an anaglyph. It'll do its best. The results of creating a 3D image viewable with those glasses.
My goodness, we have run into a 3D expert here. RubyBlue.com. I'm on the website right now. squinting. I'm sure it looks pretty incredible when looked at in 3D. How cool! I did not realize we had a 3D resident expert here. Yeah, as you know, you probably realized when the big 3D rage was on for TV monitors and such that this was never going to be a thing just because of the production requirements of shooting 3D. I've done several 3D projects for film and video, and my gosh, the planning, the camera movement, the placement of product to really make it work, very, very time intensive. So we knew you weren't just going to shoot a regular scene using 3D techniques and have something that was immersive. Very cool, Ed. Learned something new about you. Anaglyph expert and rubyblue.com. How interesting. Thanks for sharing that. Let's talk more about this.
Actually, I'll make a point of bringing you a copy of Hawaii in Depth and a pair of those goofy glasses. And I remember, there was a time there where you could go to the theater and see some of the great movies that were being released. Not all that long ago. It doesn't seem all that long ago to me. I know, the 3D glasses and comics and all that stuff back in the 50s were the rage, and then they kind of resurfaced every once in a while. But I remember with my family just being excited about going in and seeing some of the big movies that were produced and put out in the theater there for a stretch. I never actually experienced the 3D TV, but I really like 3D stuff. And I was telling you about that, I think it was called Galaxy 3D or something like that Samsung's put out. I know you can get these headsets now that are totally immersive and give you you can have a 3D representation of the world and cool stuff. It's almost like reality.
Yeah, almost like reality. And don't know what's cheaper, buying all the months to imitate reality or actually just going there and seeing and touching and experiencing. Very cool. No, I was very much still attending CES very regularly during the time when the 3D product was out, and it seemed like every manufacturer had a 3D approach with the shuttered electronic shutter glasses and all different approaches to it. And it was just interesting because there was a real push for people to produce content in 3D for film and video, and I think those of us in the industry, there was actually pushback on it. It's like, well, it's something to create special content for this experience, but to try to turn the 3D experience, turn everyday stuff into a 3D experience, you just knew it wasn't in the books. Anyway, Ed, hey, thank you so much. rubyblue.com. There is a picture of you on the site, so I know it is true. KB6ED, AI6US, happy St. Patrick's Day to you.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, and wow, did I ever burn up over my time. Anyway, KB6ED, 3D.
Yeah, I am sitting here at my desk experiencing the Coffee Break Net with my 3D glasses on. Yeah, right. Don't believe that one for an instant. Good morning, Ed. You have a wonderful Tuesday ahead. Clear with KB6ED. 3 flips of the egg timer, but well worth it. Thanks, Ed. Good morning, Jimmy. KA3VGM.
Good morning, Brian. Yeah, 6US, K3VGM. It was cold. It got down to 17 degrees last night. That's what I was told. It's now 24 or so, my computer says. Hopefully it's updating itself today. But we got probably 4 inches of snow, so we beat Hannah there. She's not too far from me, probably about 60 miles. But she got a little less than we did, apparently. And she's right, it can disappear anytime it wants to. I'm sick of seeing snow, although I know you guys would like to see a little bit more of it out there with your water situation, but we've seen enough of it back here to do me for another winter. K3VG, back to you, Brian.
Yeah, now winters can get a little on you after a while, that is for sure. 19 degrees and snow last night. I hope you did not put away your ice skates and pull out the sandals yet for the season. That sounds definitely cold, and hopefully somebody else is out there dealing with the snow for you this morning. Well, Jimmy, good morning to you, and wishing you a early spring. K83VGM AI6US. Have a great day, Jimmy. Good morning. Coffee Break Net here on the W6EK Repeater. Oh, somebody keying up. All right. Good morning. Coffee Break Net here on the W6EK Repeater. It's St. Patrick's Day. It's also corned beef and cabbage day. Is that something you enjoy around your household? National 3D Day and World Social Worker Day. And just a reminder, coming up this Friday, it's going to be the 6th anniversary of the Coffee Break Net. So drop on by this Friday. Tom will be the Net Control host, but I've invited all of the Net Control operators to stop by and say good morning and maybe share one of their favorite memories over the past 6 years. We are now up to almost 73,000 check-ins over the past 6 years. So, yeah, a lot of great conversations have been had. Good morning. I'm Brian, AI6US, and let's take one more round of quick in and out check-ins as you start your day.
November 9, November No Romeo, Port 5.
Fox Queen Victor, Mark. KC8FQV, Mark. That's KC8FQV.
KB6QV, good morning. K6WQU. Kilo Oscar 6, Kilo Mike Romeo, over.
AK6SQ, Alpha, Kilo 6, Sierra Queen, Jeff in Roseville.
All right, we'll do our best to clear up that kerfuffle. Somebody out there, you really have a bad RF in your audio. So there was one station in there just nothing but buzz. Good morning, Jeff. AJ6SQ, I believe it was. Sorry, I didn't queue up on that one fast enough. Good morning, Robert. KO6KMR. Good morning to Dan, KN6WQU. And good morning to Brett, KB6LUV. And good morning to Corey. Corey is there was a double right there. I think that was KG6PUN. Yep, KG6PUN. Good morning, Corey. And good morning to Mark, KC8FQV. I know there were several others in there. There was somebody coming in through Fireside East Coast Hub. Try that again, that East Coast Hub Fireside Station. I got shy. All right. Who did I miss?
And 680 W1ATB. Good morning, Brian.
KD6QZH. Yeah. K6DCL. Good morning.
KO6 Irish check. All right. Good morning there, KO6IHJ. Good morning, Larry. K6DCL. Good morning, Dave. And good morning to Peter, KD6QZH. Everyone is in and out on this round. Good morning to Aaron, W1ATB. Let's see, there's a station, KE0YJJ. Go ahead and come back. I think you were transmitting, but I don't think you have any audio. Well, you keyed up, and I could kind of hear YJJ in there, but yeah, you have no audio. Your audio is like 5%. So KE0YJJ got you down here, and if you want to sort things out, we'll try coming back to you. Let's see, did I miss anyone? All right. Just a reminder, these are all quick in and outs. Let's keep it under 2 minutes. KEC8FQV. Good morning, Mark.
Morning. Yeah, KC8, Fox Queen Victor, morning. Yeah, it got down to about 22 degrees over here. The sun's out. Yeah, last night about midnight, and probably 10 or, well, they said it'd be 5 o'clock, 5, 6 o'clock started snowing. And the roads got worse as it went on. Only in part, only in the north of like the turnpike. But I think it was further south. I think they had some icing or whatever. Well, precipitation, it can freeze and it gets cold enough no matter what it is. So, I did Club Net last night. I stopped by the Node Net, and I think he said Blue Jay that he was talking with 3D. Yeah, that was a big rig, but like you say, that was never going to really work. The idea was neat to be able, like, you would have a box sitting in the middle of the room and be able to walk around like watch a football game. But yeah, I don't think really was going to work. I remember the 3D hologram stuff they did. It looked like a cylinder, and I remember the one college out here, I think it was Hiram College, had a display of 3D hologram stuff. Now, there is some unique things, but yeah, I don't think I don't know if we'll ever get to that, being able to be that innovative. They're trying their hardest, but I can't recall, you said the guy had a website, so I'm going to send it back your way, and hopefully I'll remember it, KSFQV. Well, everything else is going good here.
Yeah, think of Ruby Slippers and Blue Skies, rubyblue.com. And that's Ed's website, and there's some 3D photography and a gallery on there. So thank you to Ed for sharing that with us. Yeah, no, 3D is never going to be mainstream. If you ever went onto a set where 3D programming was being produced and see what goes into it, and the camera blocking, and all the elements to make 3D more than just a flattened image with some weird colored edges. It really takes a lot of effort to do it, and just not going to happen in their entertainment world unless it's made specifically for 3D. So it was somebody's pipe dream. Mark, you have a wonderful day. That was rubyblue.com. And he has quite a collection of anaglyphs there. You have a great day. 7-3, Jimmy. I'm sorry. Mark. My apologies.
Hey, I don't get mad at KCFQV, because I know it gets to be real, not challenging, but it gets to be real hectic behind the keyboard, KCFQV.
You can't that way when you're managing the log and trying to keep a good conversation going. Thanks, Mark. You have a wonderful day. KC8FQV. And let's check in with Corey, KG6PUN. Good morning, Corey. Well, Corey, we could tell you were trying to come back to us, but there is something wrong with your connection. Maybe you're in a poor cellular area or something. Just your signal kept dropping out. So one more quick come back. Let's see if you're there. Quick transmission. There was a misunderstanding of what quick transmission was. All right. Corey was there, but we can't hear him this morning. There's something wrong with his connection, so probably a poor cellular or Wi-Fi connection there. So, yeah, Corey, if you want to get things checked out and worked out, come on back later on. Here with KG6PUN. And good morning, Brett, AB6LUV.
AI6UF. KB6UV, Brett here. Good morning, Brian and Coffee Break Net land. Oh boy, that big orange ball is up and in the sky, shining. Gonna be a warm one and gonna get warmer. Yes, sir. 3 bags full and then some. So yesterday was pool, continuing to clean the pool and get ready. The winter did a real good job on the pool this year. I don't know what does it some years or not, but some years are worse than others. Whatever particulate that gets down into the pool. But, yep, it'll be another pool cleaning today, and then hopefully get out on Little Red. You know, it's just gorgeous weather here in Northern California. We take a quick break. I want to say good morning, Mom. Bonnie in Newton, Kansas. I love you. Your weather is far worse than ours. I know that. So stay on the warm side of the door. Let me see, 3D day. Man, 3D has come a long way. I remember going to matinees as a kid and seeing the creature from the Black Lagoon with the red and blue eye separation glasses. Boy, has 3D come a long way since that time.
Yeah, a lot of big changes, especially in their electronic shutter effects. And, you know, they can simultaneously show an image that can be viewed with or without glasses. Yeah, you're right. A lot of changes have taken place, but it will never be mainstream. I felt sorry for people who went out and bought that 65-inch flat screen TV 3D edition. Kind of like buying monster cables for your stereo.
Yes, sir. I didn't know anybody who had them. I mean, I had seen them, and, you know, sparked curiosity because, you know, it's a novelty idea, but I'll just go to the movies to get my 3D fix. I don't need it at home. Thanks a lot. So, all right. Well, this is a quick in and out. I'll say thank you. Oh, I'm still waiting on my box. Having some troubles with transportation or, you know, being delivered, so I've been in touch with Bionics, and I'm sure we'll get it all squared away, but frustrating as I sit here chomping at the bit to get this little piece of gear. So, all right. Again, everybody else out there in Coffee Break Net land, please have a wonderful day. Be blessed. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. KB6LUV. Be of love. 7-3. Clear and listening.
It's It's always the items that you want to arrive that somehow get mysteriously waylaid along the way. That's the way it always is. It's like they have a measurement of your anticipation level and respond with slow shipping accordingly. Good morning to you, Brett, KB6LUV, and good morning to Bonnie back there in Kansas. You have a wonderful day ahead. Good morning, Dan, KN6WQU.
Good morning, Brian and Net. This is KN6WQ. Still trucking along, getting these motors done. We only got one done yesterday because we had the guys drop the ball. So we didn't get the 1.5 done like I was going to. But anyway, just out here getting it done. We're over at the U-Haul renting a trailer so I can get the Chrysler 300 at my house and get it torn apart and do that. So hope everybody has a great day. And this is KN6WQ.
Yeah, that's the problem about making a schedule and trying to keep to it. Not everything in life cooperates with you. But Dan, you have a wonderful day. Thanks for checking in this morning. Sounds like you have a busy day ahead. And you have a great day. KN6WQU, AI6US. Good morning, Robert, KO6KMR.
Well, good morning, sir. And the Net, I'll be heading off to the gym here just shortly, but wanted to be sure that I got on the call this morning. In our extra class, we got to make an antenna the other day on Saturday, which was pretty neat stuff. And I've been going over the extra questions so much, I decided just to go ahead and try to take the extra but the extra test on this Thursday in Folsom. So I'm doing pretty darn good. I'm running anywhere between 86 and 90% on these tests. So I figured, just go ahead and try it and see what it's like. Over.
All right. Well, very good. Yeah, you'll be testing with Anders over there in Folsom this Thursday, and certainly. If you are scoring in that 80% range, 80 to 90 plus range, you're going to do well. So, don't rush too far ahead, because once the book learning is done, then the real life learning begins, and it is a fun experience. But wish you well on that, Robert. And what? Did you bring the in-fed home, and did you try putting it up yet, or what's your plans for that in-fed that you built at the lab?
No, I didn't put it up yet. I'm still looking at how to do it. It's a rather long antenna, so it really wasn't an in-fed. It was more of a, what was it? It was some other kind of antenna, but it's rather long, and I've got to figure out how to get it in my yard here somehow. Over.
Well, antennas don't always have to be laid out in a straight line. You might get some weird propagation patterns coming off, or patterns coming off of it, but it doesn't always have to be a straight line. Okay, I thought Anders was had a balun and was making in-feds. I definitely, sounds like I was wrong on that. Well, you have a great day, and we'll wish you well, and I won't wish you luck. Maybe I will. Luck of the Irish be with you this Thursday there, Robert.
Well, the way I figure is it's much better to be lucky than good a lot of times. Over.
Whatever gets the job done. Hey, Robert, have a wonderful day. Happy Tuesday for you. KO6KMR, AI6US. All right, AJ6 Sierra, Quebec, I believe. Jeff, good morning.
Good morning, Brian, and good morning to the Net. One small correction, that is Alpha Kilo 6 Sierra, Quebec. I just got my amateur extra call sign this morning, so figured I'd try it on. It's a little clunky to start, just because it's so different than my last, but hey, it is a pleasure to be among the ranks. Just wanted to say hello, like I said, try out the new call sign, and wish you all a happy St. Patrick's Day. It's got me thinking about my grandmother, Barbara Kinzel, who was a gem of a woman and would always do corned beef and cabbage. Back to you.
Well, yesterday we celebrated, MMI. AO6 MMI. Jeff had gotten his amateur extra license. AK6SQ, that's a new call sign to me, Jeff.
It is a new call sign to me as well, as of this morning.
Comment.
I just wanted to clarify that. Well, congratulations, Jeff, on the new call sign, and I don't think you're a stroke AE anymore. I think it's all official in the books now, so congratulations to you, and nice call sign. I'm glad to see that you kept with a 6 call, and everybody chasing that vanity call, and I kind of like going by the call and kind of knowing where people are when I'm doing a QSO or starting a QSO for them. So that's cool that you got that. Well, Jeff, it will roll off the tongue sooner than later. AK6SQ. That's kind of, it rolls off mine pretty well. So good. Congratulations, and you have a wonderful day ahead now that you're legit and in the books.
Thank you very much, Brian, and thank you all to all of you who are checking in on the Coffee Break Net. I will, and have always been, enjoying the conversation. Look forward to more, and look forward to the 6-year anniversary. May it keep going strong forever and after. This is AK6SQ, Jeff in downtown Old Roseville. Y'all have a wonderful day. 7-3.
Comment.
That is very awesome. Brand new call sign and celebrating there. Let's see. I might have had a comment. KG6 in LW. Did you have a comment, or was that just a chunk?
That was a comment, Brian. Congratulations, Jeff, on the call sign. That has a nice weight to it. 58 and takes about 5.5 seconds at 12 words a minute in Morse code. 10 dots, 7 dashes. That's not too bad, all things considered. And congratulations again on the new call. AK6SQ, KG6 and LW. Back to you, Brian.
Yeah, for a lot of people, that CW weighting is the way that they judge the calls. Easy to throw out the call sign, and especially if you're doing any contest work. Excellent, thank you. W6EK. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning, Brian and Nat, and I've transitioned to my mobile, so I hope this is going to come in all right. 2 little things. If you have an FTX1 radio, Yaesu has finally come out with the firmware for the Wires X, and it works great. And second of all, today is Kilo Delta 6 Hotel Oscar November's birthday. He is my mentor and the guy who got me involved in ham radio, so I wanted to give a shout out to him. He's a member of our club.
Well, very good. Very good. I think that's Joe, I believe.
Correct, and he checks in occasionally, and he's probably listening, but he's a little timid sometimes, you know. He doesn't have much to say. He won't say it. So anyway, shout out to him. He's an awesome guy, and we've had lots of adventures together.
Well, Joe, HON, if you are listening, happy birthday to you, and wish you many more trips around the sun. And yeah, it's kind of neat what draws us into the hobby, and the people that are involved in that trip. FTDX1, yeah, I heard yesterday Burton in 6UG loaded the new firmware on his radio, and I heard him and Dennis testing it, and I think my comment was yesterday, without even thinking about it, I think it's the first time I've heard FTDX1 on this repeater, and that was over on our 440 C4 FM repeater, so very cool. And glad to hear that. That took a while to get implemented, but it sounds like it was done right.
I'm sorry, I'm going to slow things down. Comment.
Best Wires X implementation I've seen yet. So it has that nice big screen, so they took pretty good advantage of it. And it did have a little bug in the first go-around, but they fixed it like a day later. So, yeah, it's all up and good now. And, yeah, it's feature complete now at this point.
All right, good news on that. Well, Aaron, thanks for checking in this morning. And Frank, I acknowledge you have another comment. I'm going to go ahead and keep working through the list if you don't mind. But Aaron, anything else for the net this morning? Got to travel down through the list here.
One last thing really quick is that when it comes to 3D, I have an Oculus headset, and it's really slick. You can see a lot of it. It's cool 3D, but man, you're right. About an hour in, and you got a headache. So anyway, that's it. So for everybody, have a great day. W6EK. We're watching out for traffic.
No, and I think that gaming is a perfect example of a great scenario for 3D because it can be produced that way, etc. So very good. I appreciate you filling us in there, and you have a great day ahead. And looks like Frank, KG6L NLW, is going to reach out to you via email there. W1ATV, AI6US, happy Tuesday to you, and luck of the Irish be with you, my friend. KD6QZH, let's see if Peter was able to hang around with us. Good morning, Peter.
KD6QZH, I have to run. I'm in work mode, so good morning, everyone. I'll chat with you tomorrow. KD6QZH, back to net. Good morning, Brian.
All right, Peter. Yeah, sometimes if we make these in and outs go a little too long, I know it times you guys out. Apologize for that, Peter. You have a wonderful Tuesday. Clearing of KD6H, and good morning to Dave, K6DCL.
Hey, good morning, Brian and Annette. K6DCL here in sunny Jamestown. Somebody said in one of the weather reports that we could have possible showers. Well, I do not believe it, but I think showers were southeast of us. Anyway, other than that, it's a beautiful day. We survived going down to Modesto yesterday. Got x-ray of my right hip. Hooray! Finally, somebody took some action, and it happened to be my good old primary doctor in Modesto, not the VA. And I'm trying to get a look-see at what it looks like, but no success yet. But I will be able to, and probably the doctor has to view it first. But other than that, I'm going to send back a bunch of stuff today, and we do have a ICOM 705 going out in the mail today also, so that's a great thing, and also something to DX Engineering. So we're another busy day, and I'm supposed to take. Lucy has an eye doctor's appointment to get a new prescription, and I don't know whether her son is going to have a dental appointment or not, but his lady friend needs to buy scrubs because she starts working at a home for the elderly. There you go. Anyway, that's it. K6 DCL. Just a hair over 2 minutes. We'll see you later. Have a great day. And 73 K6 DCL.
When you said that she was going to be buying scrubs, I was thinking to myself, why would you want to buy a loser, incompetent, unsuccessful, lazy person? Going back to the TLC, don't want no scrubs. No scrubs. I don't know if that resonated with you or anyone else, but yeah, that was a song popular 30 years ago. No scrubs. Anyway, hey, maybe I'm the only one laughing about that. Lucy, eye doctor, be careful. Be very careful, Dave. We don't want her seen too well. She loves you the way you are.
That got her laughing. Anyway, yeah, she's finishing up her first biscotti. I've devoured all of mine, so I'm ready for the day. See you later, K6DGL 73.
We are out of biscotti, and Lynn said she was stopping by Costco either today or tomorrow, so looking forward to another big old container of biscotti hanging around our house soon. Good morning to you. Good morning to Lucy. Have a wonderful day today. And another radio leaves the household to find a new home. K6DCL AI6US. And good morning, Larry, KO6IHJ.
Good morning, Brian. You know what I got going in the crock pot? Oh, I do. I have two corned beefs going in there, slow cooked. Let's see, today's project, I got 3 microinverters I got to go put down. I got to change some out of my solar panels. I got 3 that's faulty. And other than that, I got a video up of me testing that little VLA 200 amp yesterday. I don't think I have anything, Brian. Just going to be a relaxing, easy day after fixing those inverters and probably some radio work.
I did not know that you had solar panels on your roof. How many kilowatts do you generate?
They're in the field. I have 33 and it's 7.5.
Okay. Noticeable, or how do you manage your power? Is it just manual switched, or do you go over during daylight hours? How do you manage it?
All managed through the system itself. It needs everybody. This might be a shocker for everybody, but solar panel systems need power to work. So it's got the 220 going to them, coming out to turn them on, blah blah blah. You know how the system works. Runs on the PG&E smart meter.
Yeah, that came as a shock to many people who had these systems, and then they were having the PG&E or the power shutoffs over the past couple of years, and their solar panels did them no good. So we actually even had a couple people checking into our repeater going, is there any ham radio operator out there that can show me how to activate my solar panels during this outage? You just kind of shake your head and go, yeah, yes you can, but no you shouldn't.
You can excite the system. Not gonna go. I'm an electrician myself, so you can excite that system, yes, by means. But the best way to do it, just bite the bullet and get the batteries, and then you don't ever have to know the power went off.
Yes, indeed. Now, definitely the system that we're going to be putting a new roof on the place here in the next year, and going to go ahead and do a full standalone system. We're going to go light on the batteries, though, but a standalone system that can be used during the day, and no electricity required to operate it. That is kind of a funny thing, isn't it, Larry? You have a wonderful day. Good luck on your repairs.
You as well, Brian. Everybody have a blessed day. Enjoy the day. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I got to get the accent. Oh, that was almost Russian.
KO6IJ 73 and getting more coffee.
Happy Thanks Patrick's Day to you, comrade. Have a great day, Larry. Good morning to you. Clearing with Larry, KO6IHJ, and good morning. Let's see if KE0YJJ got that audio sorted out. Good morning.
This is KE0YJJ. You hearing me, Brian?
Hear you just fine now. You're sounding good. Good morning, and I believe this is Ricky?
That's correct. I prefer, but yeah, Ricky's my legal, which made it show up on all the FCC paperwork. Yuck. Anyways, yeah, I'm coming to you from on my radioless node. Ignore the frequency it's showing you. And I just rebuilt this machine, and I forgot to turn the microphone volume up. It was down like at 5. So it's up at 100% now, and I'm controlling it from IAX RPT. So anyways, good hearing everybody. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad everything's working here again. Been working on it for 3 days, and I still don't have it rebuilt. Anyways, that's sounding good. I really missed hearing everyone, so I'm back, and we'll be here. KE0YJJ. Back to you, Brian.
Yeah, it had been a while since we had you checking in, so good to hear you again. What radioless node did you go with? KE0YJJ. Rick, just curious, what radioless node did you go with? What model or brand? What model?
Brian, I did a homemade one. It's running inside of a virtual machine, and it's going to my Blue Snowball for the speaker, and I'm using IAX RPT as my audio, and it seems to be working pretty good. Anyways, back to you.
Well, very good. Glad to hear you got that going, and yeah, very cool. Homemade virtual machine build. That's very cool, Rick. Good morning to you, and glad you got some audio in there. Yeah, the 5 setting was not being kind to you there. Good morning. KE0YJJ AI62S. You have a great day, Rick. 73. Good morning. Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater and connected repeaters and nodes. The Coffee Break Net, of course, is where the sun is always shining, the birds are singing, and the fish are jumping. It's all a state of mind, isn't it? Well, let's see. Let's go ahead and take some check-ins. Who's out there this morning? If you are short on time, let me know. I'll put you at the top of the list. Otherwise, take check-ins.
November 10-9 MUF. In and out.
Whiskey 2.
KO16H. Good morning.
Oscar November. W2RON.
Kilo Alpha 1, Juliet X-Ray Yankee, KA1JXY, Joe in Massachusetts.
All right, good morning, Joe, KA1JXY. Good morning to Greg, KO6TH. And good morning, W2RON. With that call sign, you must be Ron. N9MUF. Good morning, Daniel. And N6 Delta Tango. Good morning, Rick. Did I miss anyone? All right. Was anybody in this list a quick in and out, or is everybody hanging around for a little bit of rag chew? All right, up to the top. Good morning, Rick. In 6 Tango, what you got for us this morning?
Oh, hi, Brian. Good morning. Got a chance to go to the candy store and spend a little money, but nothing spectacular. But got a power pole distribution unit, and I'm in the final stretch of getting my shack cleaned up after these last couple of years. So got to get distribution for power and all this, and new antenna for the clear node, which now gives me about a mile range from the antenna inside the house. So I can go out in the yard and enjoy things. Let's see what else. Also, one of the things that's nice about being in a club is one of the club members got a 220 radio, and so I have a tri-band antenna, so I'm going to swap with him and get him set up so he can run his 220 radios along with his 2-meter and 70 centimeter. And we're swapping a big Comet for a big Diamond. So anyway, it's always fun to be with a group of people. This is N6DT. 73's Brian, thank you.
A diamond for a comment, and yeah, if you could fill me in, do you think they come out of the same factory? I do.
Oh yes, I'm sure they do. As in many things, there's a little bit of the assembly inside the antenna on the Comet that's a little unique, but otherwise, yeah, I think the factory builds almost everything.
Yeah, and then several years ago, I was helping a friend install the Harvest brand that they had bought through Home Depot, a 2-meter Harvest antenna, and I looked at it and went, well, at least that center conductor where the radials hook in and everything, boy, it sure looks the same. Yeah, just an OEM, I think, shared with many different brandings. Rick, have a wonderful day. Enjoy that reorganized shack, and always pleasure to have you drop by. N6D AI 6US 73.
73, Brian. Take care.
Let's head on back to Chicagoland, where the rivers run green. N9 MUF. Good morning, Daniel. Top of the morning.
Good morning, Brian in the net. Yes, today the rivers will run green and so will the beer.
Running in or out, I guess it matters. The waterways rely on the tide, but well, very good. I know for some reason Chicago really embraces that holiday. You in New York really laid claim to that one.
The wonderful joy of having large Irish populations. And as such, my plan today, the pub that I go to, it's their one of their mug holder party days where the beer is half price and there's free food. So I'll be a good Irishman and go enjoy some free beer and food today.
And so I imagine that that buffet is going to have some corned beef and cabbage. I forgot. Once again, I was going to check with Lynn if that's what we were having today. I didn't see any fixins for it, and if not, I'm going to be highly disappointed and have to do some after the holiday shopping.
I definitely look forward to it. That's on our meal plan for tomorrow night. Corned beef, cabbage, colcannon. Definitely looking forward to that as well, and I won't mind it if I wind up eating it for 2 straight days.
Yeah, that's a great thing about corned beef and cabbage and the likes is that the flavors just get better and better and better if you let that thing sit around and yeah, no, you would not catch me refusing day 2 leftovers of that. Well, good morning to you. So you got pub day, mug holder day. I don't think I've ever been that associated with a pub that they ever gave me a mug to get a discount of anything I bought. But Yeah, it was actually back in Chicago. Trying to remember, it was we were at one of the universities south of Chicago. It's been so many years, I don't remember, but I remember going in and got a tin pail, a galvanized pail filled with beer, and I had that holding my pencils for many, many years. Tony Suppin.
We do love our beer here. No, the pub has a mug club, so for a small, a reasonable fee, you get a 20-ounce mug with a number on it. And the other nice thing is that you can run up a tab. So everybody else will hold a credit card, and mug club holders, they'll just take the number and pay up at the end of the night. And for, like I said, for the price of a 16-ounce beer, you get 20 ounces and other discounts throughout the year.
You know, probably the mug holder club with the tab is a holdover where, you know, company guys, it just got taken directly out of their paycheck.
Probably. I think in most cases it's nobody wants to skip on the tab because you'd like to stay a part of the club. Actually, I hadn't been down there for a few weeks, and when my son and I walked in on Monday, or not this Monday, but last Monday, they told me they were about ready to do a wellness check on us.
You know, it's good to be known, you know, hopefully for all the right reasons, but some people stand out for the wrong reasons and are missed because of it. Somebody better go set up a wellness check on Daniel. We haven't seen his mug filled for a while. There we go. You know, that's the great thing about the local neighborhood pubs. You know, everybody knows your name and they give a darn.
They truly do. It's been an interesting day here. I woke up to my large monitor blinking in the I don't think we're alive any longer, so pulled it, moved the smaller monitor over so at least I wasn't twisted in my chair all day, and now I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to make do with a heck of a lot less real estate, but at least Amazon can deliver a new one tomorrow. I just need to double check with the wife unit, even though I'm pretty sure she'll say yes. We check in with each other before making any major purchases, even if we do know the answer.
Well, very good. Yeah, a couple of years ago, I enjoy filling up my real estate. I have a 49-inch curved monitor in front of me because I wrote it off for business, and it somehow gets a couple of items of my hobby on there, or vice versa. And woke up one morning to the same thing. It just came on and only filled half the screen with mumbo jumbo, and it was one of the few times that I ever had bought anything with that Assyrian insurance. And I've always kind of made fun of that Assyrian insurance until I needed to use it. And then I was mighty glad I had.
This would have been well after the insurance phase. It was an 8-year-old monitor, and I'm just glad I had the second one and could switch them over easily. And I'll be thankful for, again, the new monitor will be here tomorrow, and I managed to rearrange some things so that I can view most things. I'm using the Mac below it for a little more than I usually do. So I'll get by. It's just frustrating. You get used to that large real estate and don't realize what it's like without it. It's interesting because this monitor that became the secondary is the same size as what used to be my primary for a long time. I'm just glad I could move it over easily and keep going.
Well, very good. That's a good thing about having everything organized and backed up and everything, that it makes things easy when you need to do a failover restoration. Yeah, yesterday I found a hard drive that had been sitting in storage forever, and started playing with it. It wouldn't even be recognized by the Windows machine, and suddenly It took me a while to figure out how to do it, but was able to hook it up to that new Linux laptop that I burned last week. And if I wouldn't have had that Linux laptop here, I probably wouldn't have been able to recover this stored hard drive enclosure. I had a 5 terabyte to do a lot of DVR recording on, and after I recovered it, I realized who cared? I should have. But yeah, it wasn't even being recognized. It showed up that it was, in my hard drive availability, but it had some trouble with its formatting and would not appear as a device on my device manager. So thank goodness, I had a brief moment of appreciation for Linux yesterday.
That is one of the joys of Linux is there's very few formats that it can't read. And I know that I've definitely sat there a few times with my Linux box and an external hard drive connector. I think my favorite one, I had a couple hard drives that went bad, and the click of death, and I'd put them in the freezer overnight, get them all taken care of, get a bucket of ice and a Ziploc bag and pop that in there, and I'd pull data off those hard drives until that click of death kicked in again.
See, I picked something up today. I had no idea that was a trick you could use. So putting it in the freezer, what does that do? Does it change the way the drive mechanism rides, or is it something like a trace that opens or closes because of the thermal? What is it?
It separates things out enough. My understanding, fortunately it's been a long time since I've had to deal with it, but it shrinks everything just enough to avoid that particular click, because the drive, my understanding of the click, and please, I know I'm probably wrong on this, is that the pairs are slightly out of alignment, and that's why you get that little click as it spins, and freezing it helps them survive a little longer before they expand and get out of whack too much. So it was a several-day process that I had to go through, but I got all the critical data off of it.
Well, we know what thermal temperatures do to the human body, so very interesting. Okay. I had never heard that one before, so new respect for people who put computer as well as family in the freezer. Thanks. I do. I have a few drives remaining around here. A lot of my stuff is going over to solid state now, but yeah, I still have a couple of big drives I used for DVR and backup and such. Well, Daniel, good morning to you. Enjoy filling that 20-ounce mug for the price of a 16, and corned beef and cabbage. Sounds like a nice way to wrap the day, or start the day for some.
Should be an absolutely good day. We've got a balmy 16 degrees here. As long as there's no blizzard conditions, I will be more than happy to be down at the pub this afternoon. And St. Patrick's, he's at rest just outside of Belfast. I was lucky enough when I was working over there, one of the managers took me out to visit his gravesite, and I've got some photos. And that was just a very, very cool treat.
I had the opportunity to go and visit myself, but I did not. I probably should have, but very good. Let's see. I'm trying to remember what St. Patrick did for the world. I know there's a lot of myths and such about him, but what is St. Patrick's? I know we've really kind of bastardized him like we did Santa Claus, but help me out here. I know he was a bishop sometime in the, 4th or 5th centuries?
My understanding was that it was bringing a stronger literacy to the people of Ireland, which wound up preserving a lot of culture later on. and it just became a bastion of knowledge and culture due to St. Patrick.
Okay, well, very good. We celebrate a lot of days without really the knowledge of why we are doing it, kind of like Cinco de Mayo. The Mexicans are we celebrate it. But, hey, they sell more beer. I guess the same thing with the Irish. It certainly brings the culture into our awareness. Daniel, have a wonderful, wonderful day, and top of the morning to you.
It will be a very, very good day. My only regret is I was listening to the gentleman speak about enjoying a six-pack of Guinness, and I can no longer drink Guinness in the U.S. My problem is I've had it from the original source, and it is such a different taste, and I got back here and had a pint, and I was just like, it's ruined it for me. That's one reason I want to get back there, is I want a good pint of Guinness. 7-3 to you in the net, Brian, and 9MUF.
And a pint of Guinness that doesn't have to be served cold. A room draught, naturally, there is something super special about it. Frothy, almost like a ice cream soda. I remember it well. Good reason to want to go back. In 9MUF, AI6US, you have a great Tuesday. W2RON, good morning, Ron. What do you have for the net this morning? Maybe Ron is already headed out to the pub and has already started drinking the Guinness. W2RON, are you still there, Ron? Yeah, a little early to be hitting the Guinness, I suppose. It's noon somewhere. Good morning, Greg, KO6GH.
Hi, good morning, Brian. Good morning, everyone. Greg, KO6GH. Lovely day outside. Got the video first pass at it rendered last night. Got to take a look at it. It still needs some work, but making progress on it. Guinness. I got some in the fridge. I've never been to Ireland. I've never tried the real stuff. I can't imagine. I guess I can't imagine how it would be better. Tomorrow night is Astronomy on Tap with the Astronomy Club, and looking forward to. It's not the same, of course, but they've got a couple of nice, good, rich, dark beers up at 1849 Brewing in Nevada City. That Grass Valley, I guess it is. That I partake of, and good times for sure. Anyway, back to you, KO6GH.
I have never gone to 1849 Brewing. I know you spoke of going there often, and others have mentioned it. I hear that they have some good stuff on tap there. I'm kind of a knee-deep guy. I take my cannons down there occasionally to get filled, and I tend to favor some of the seasonal stuff. But very good, Greg. Guinness. I would say the Guinness that you buy here, they've tried real hard, especially with the vinyl or the plastic lined kegs with the drop-in nitrous tablet and that sort of thing. And I think they capture the essence of it. But, going into a pub where it is just a draw and drop, naturally aspirated at room temperature. I know it doesn't sound good, but oh my gosh, it just goes down like a velvety milkshake.
So when you go to the store to buy some, I'm thinking Safeway, that great beer mecca of the world. There's Guinness and there's Guinness Extra. Which is closer to what they have over in the UK or Ireland?
I don't know. I've never had the extra. Maybe anyone out there listening to the Coffee Break Net this morning, anybody out there have a comment on the difference between Guinness and Guinness Extra?
Temperature 66 degrees.
Greg, you have a homework assignment.
W6EK, it has a higher alcoholic content.
Okay. Any difference in the flavor or taste?
I like both of them. Guess if I had to make a preference, then maybe I'd go for the extra.
Okay. So there you go, Greg. A suggestion that maybe the extra has maybe a little bit more, to it other than just the alcoholic kick. When I purchased it last time, to be honest, I used it for steaming some cabbage and put it in the Instapot with some pork.
Oh my! I hope there was some left over to actually drink with that usage. Yeah, if you want the alcohol, so I am also a big fan of Knee Deep, also of Moonraker. Both of those are really good. Knee Deep, especially, they've got a vanilla porter that they age in whiskey barrels. It is strong, to say the least. It is up in the wine category, the amount of alcohol. It's 12-point-something%. So yeah, it's more of a sipping beer, but really good. Oh God, the flavor is wonderful. They also have a non-aged version. Not quite. It's definitely not as good as the aged one, but also in the full flavor. My preference is for beer you can chew. So those are all of those I think count. I think I've got some. What else do I have in the fridge? I don't have a lot of beer, but assortment of bottles. Modelo, and what is the other one? Black Butte, I think, are pretty good. So anyway, all those kind of the same category. Anyway, that's tomorrow night, so we'll be a day late in terms of the celebration. But today is going to be busy. Yesterday afternoon, I spent my time. I consider it short attention span gardening. We'll start working on a project, run into a rock or something. That tree needs pruning. Okay, do that. Oh, wait, we're going to need to do this. And I hopped from project to project all afternoon. And got some stuff done, but more stuff to do today. So we'll see if we can finish part of that up before it gets too hot. Back to you, Brian, KO6TH.
Comment. Antonillo, I think, is the name. But yeah, that vanilla porter from Knee Deep, I have been enjoying that for many, many years. I just looked it up right now, and yeah, it looks like started winning awards back in 2012. So you are not alone in your appreciation of the vanilla porter. Comment, go ahead.
KG6QBB. The Guinness Draft uses nitrogen, so it's a creamier pour. The Extra Stout uses CO2, so it is a little more fuzzy and a little sharper bite.
Okay, a difference in the carbonation process or the charging. Okay, that's interesting. Interesting fact. Which do you prefer, Alex?
The Extra, absolutely. The Draft is 4-point-some%, and the Extra is typically around 5.5.
Okay, so Alex goes for octane. All right, Greg, there's a difference there, the way that the beer is charged. Interesting. And, of course, nobody worries about that in Ireland because it just comes out of the barrel charged on its own. There you go, Greg. Some more points to consider.
Oh, very good. Thanks for the information on that. I'll have to get some of each and kind of give them a taste side by side. I remember I've had both of them, but not close together. So they were similar. I did notice a different alcohol level, but the taste is what I was going for. If Knee Deep would do the aged one with not quite so much octane, as you say, in it, it would be the perfect beer. Anyway, on with today, and everybody have lift a pipe this afternoon or this evening, and we will talk to you tomorrow. KO6TH 73.
And drink responsibly. I saw something that said, the gas price is getting so cheap. Drink, don't drive. Have a great day, Greg. KO6TH AI6US. And let's head on back. Good morning, Joe, back in Massachusetts. KA1JXY. Welcome.
Good morning, Brian. How are you this fine morning?
I'm doing well, thank you. And how you doing? Top of the morning to you.
I'm doing quite well, thank you. On this, you guys are getting the heat, and we're getting the cold. It's like 23 outside right now, and 60-mile-an-hour gusts on this fine St. Patty's Day. And I have to say, Boston's southeast, kind of like their south end, also has a very strong Irish celebration. They have a race where many of the contestants are also imbibing in the ale, along with most of the crowd. KA1JXY.
Yeah, many of these communities certainly embrace it and have quite the celebration. As long as they don't come to fisticuffs. I used to be a bartender for a short period of my life, and alcohol is a lot of fun until you reach a certain limit. And the Irish tend to be quite strong-willed. It's an interesting mix of the brew and the culture. I'm familiar with the south end of Boston. Been there many times on different projects, and have enjoyed many a good evening in a pub there.
Yep, the south end definitely has its share of good pubs and good food.
Sounds like you've made the journey down from your area. 23 degrees. I guess the darn groundhog was right this year. You guys definitely are getting another pass at winter. Well, good morning to you, Joe. Thank you for dropping by to the Coffee Break Net, and I think this is the first time we have you in the log. Good morning.
Actually, I think this is my second or third time, a couple ago. I'm working on trying to arrange my schedule a little more firmly so that I can participate more.
Yes, I do. Thanks for jogging my memory. Yeah, I looked back in the log, and a little over a month ago, you checked in. Second time here. We talked a little bit about hiking and photography. So, well, good. So many times our life gets in the way of our hobby. I like that you're trying to arrange your life to make time for your hobby. Good balance there. Well, what do you have going on today?
Not much. Probably, like somebody had said earlier, I'm probably gonna go down and excuse me, work on my shack a little bit. I'm a recent general upgrade, and I have dug out my TS520 from 30 some odd years ago when I was first licensed, and I'm working on building up my HF shack once again. That's about all that I'll be doing. Oh, and probably making some sourdough bread tonight. KA1JXY. Back to you, Brian.
TS520. I've seen those before, and I've never operated one myself. But yeah, definitely. I think that is as I believe that's a hybrid tube finals with a transistorized front end on that, I believe.
Excuse me. Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's an old boat anchor, not quite as big as some of the others of that era, but it's rather heavy. But it did me well 30 years ago, and I think it still works. That's what I'm working on finding out. Connect a random wire later this week and see if it at least receives and receives on the right frequency, and then we'll go from there. KA1JXY.
Well, bring it up slowly if you have a Variac, and it hasn't been run for a while. You might try bring it up slowly on the Variac and treat those components carefully. Otherwise, you might have a little bit of repair ahead, and you might already. But that was before the capacitor guaranteed failure time frame. So I hope that fires up for you well. And congratulations on the recent general upgrade. And maybe we'll get you in the log on HF soon as well. I was in amateur radio back in the 80s and early 80s. I had a Yaesu FT101E, and got my license when I was down in the Caribbean, living in Haiti. And then I let it lapse. When I came back to the U.S., there was no reciprocal license. There were other things in life that were more important than amateur radio when you're a 20-year-old young person. Took me many, many years to get back into the hobby, but that Yaesu was long, long gone, and I was amazed when I got back into the hobby 8 years ago about how far the hobby had come and how far the equipment had developed. But yeah, I think that 520, as long as you can bring it up slowly, it should be a solid radio and should be something fun to play with. But welcome back into the hobby.
Thanks. It's been, so far it's been fun. I got back into it, I think it's 3 years now, and kind of got into just the digital side and got a handheld, got QTEL connected up on my Linux box, and I've just been having fun ever since. I'm going to say 73s, Brian, and to you in the net, and everyone have a great day. KA1JXY.
All right, Joe. Well, thanks for checking in this morning, and I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful day ahead, and appreciate you dropping in again. And we'll look forward to many more times in the future. KA1JXY, AI6US. Have a wonderful St. Patrick's Day. Let's see, clearing with Joe. Let's go ahead and just open it up for a round of quick in and outs, then we'll get back into some rag chew. Anybody want a quick in and out as we start our morning here on the Coffee Break Net?
N2DYI. W2VX.
Kilo Golf 9 Mike, mobile.
W2RON. Back again.
All right, Ron is back in for another go at it. W2RON. Good morning, Ron, for recheck. And good morning to Frank, KG9M Mobile. And good morning to Doug, W2VX. And good morning to Patrick. Hey, it's Patrick. Good morning, Patrick. Into DYI. Good morning to you. All right, let's put Frank Beansy's mobile at the top of this list because he may drive off the end of the flat Earth. Good morning, Frank. Anything for the net this morning?
Good morning, Brian. Thank you very much. Kilo Golf 9 Mike, Frank here, and just a few quick things. One is I just sent an email out to all the team leads and the volunteers that I'm aware of for Hamfest for a reminder for a Zoom planning meeting this Thursday. It's our last Zoom planning meeting, Thursday in the club Zoom room at 6 o'clock, 1800 for those of you that prefer that. Well, we'll just do final confirmations of tables and chairs and equipment and all that stuff. So really important to have a good representation at that meeting so we can make sure there's no surprises on the day of the event. Other than that, Brian, don't have a whole lot other than wishing everyone a happy St. Patrick's Day. So back to net, Kilo Golf 9 Mike, 7-3.
All right, Frank. Thank you for taking the lead chair on the on the Hamfest this year. And the planning is coming along very well. Just the little details to work out right now, and really looking forward to a awesome Hamfest. It looks like the weather is going to be stellar. The club table of items that are just going to be offered, just at our table alone, is phenomenal. The prizes this year. One more thing. What was the total amount value on the prizes this year? It's growing each year, but I think that it was above 2,000.
Yep, you're right, Brian. It was just under $2,500 last time I checked, so good amount. And again, thanks to all the contributors and donors and the sponsors and all that. You know, it takes a lot to get all that together, and hopefully it's going to go to a good home.
And I love the idea of the mystery bid box. It's going to be a panel-locked box. Big wooden box filled with goodies, and it's a open bid. It should be a fun thing to add as well. Yeah, it's going to be an awesome. Anybody in Northern California or Nevada? I know we have people even traveling down from Idaho, vendors. So yeah, it's the biggest Hamfest in Northern California. Just under a week and a half away. So that's going to be March 28th. Loomis Hamfest at the historic Loomis train station. 6 a.m. sellers, 7 a.m. buyers. And any buyer out there who thinks that the sales start at 7, yeah. Good morning. You have a wonderful day, Frank. Thanks for checking in, and we'll look forward to Hamfest at the historic Loomis train station, March 28th. 7-3. Oh, and donuts and coffee.
Yep, absolutely. It should be a great time. Appreciate everyone's contributions. Look forward to seeing everyone there. It's always a good time, and yep, the weather looks great. Appreciate that, Brian. Again, thanks. Have a great day. 7-3. AI6US Kilo Golf 9 Mike.
And good morning to Frank there. Let's check in with, good morning, Patrick. You be named after a saint. First of all, I'm going to invite K6DX in. You had a comment?
Oh, way to throw me under the bus there, Brian. Yeah, well, I might as well repeat. I texted Brian. Yeah, he may be Patrick, but he's no saint. It was just a joke.
I thought it was funny. Hi, good morning, Patrick. You ain't no saint now, are you?
Oh, not only am I not a saint, I was actually named after a race car driver.
Oh, Patrick, Patrick. Well, she was a great race driver now, wasn't she?
Oh, man, welcome to my day. No, not at all. You know, about once a year, I somehow, for some reason, go by my first name. A lot of people don't know Patrick is actually my middle name.
I remember you telling us that before, and for the life of me, without searching the logs, I can't tell you what your real name is, but I know you as Patrick. Are you going to let us know, or is that going to be today's trivia question?
Well, it's not particularly hard to find out. All you have to do is look me up on QRZ, but yeah, it's Dustin.
Hi, good morning, Dustin. What you have for the net this morning?
Well, let's see, a couple of things. I was listening to the conversation about storage, and that was kind of because just the other day I was reading about the relative volatility of flash media storage. And I say relative because with consumer grade stuff, unless you go really, really high end or some very specific models, if you power down a flash drive for more than a year, data retention is generally not guaranteed. And if you operate a flash drive within an ambient temperature of a little over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and you're writing a bunch of you're reading and writing a whole bunch of stuff to it, you might want to back it up pretty fast, because at higher temperatures, the half-life of that data being retained is very, very short.
You know, that's why I have my files stored virtually on multiple drives. In fact, I have a NAS drive, a couple of platter drives, and you know, I don't know how many times I've transferred data between media, and thinking that I've come up to the latest and greatest, and I actually a couple of years ago had a backup, a remote virtual backup server that I paid for, that they lost some of my data. Who do you trust, Patrick?
No, I don't trust. That's the thing. Just back up your backups and then back those backups up with more backups, and make sure you don't trust any of it.
Good advice. Yeah, I saw a good description the other day. It was like, yeah, the in the cloud is just somebody else's drive. Well, I had since it was mentioned earlier by NMUF Daniel earlier about his dropping the drive in the freezer. I've gotten several texts, and I won't call anybody out here, basically saying, no, don't do it, with links and everything. So, yeah, we'll take that one for what it's worth. It worked for Daniel.
Yeah, I've done that before in a pinch. Haven't in a very long time, and hopefully we'll never need to do that again, but I have done it, and it has worked just long enough to get everything off of it. Basically, I had I remember specifically on New Year's Eve 2004, sorry, let's go a little back further, and I was still foolishly, maybe, running an email server out of my house. I just thought that was the coolest thing to do for many years, and yeah, try doing that these days. That's going to be fun. But I had a catastrophic failure of the main drive that stored all that data, and it was a 30 gig Western Digital, just a consumer, like a Caviar drive or something, nothing particularly special. And I'm like, oh man, I need to get all this data back. And I did eventually get it back. The heads were crashing and getting stuck and doing all sorts of things. I tried the freezer trick. that got the heads to no longer click and do all sorts of terrible things. But again, like you, I had to load everything onto a different Linux distribution. I was using Gentoo, a live Gentoo at the time, and sat there all night long into New Year's Day, very slowly getting all the data off that drive before it self-destructed.
Well, when I started doing the recovery last night, I think it was about 6 p.m. last evening or so, I was, or maybe a little earlier. And then by about 9 p.m. I was turning in, and it was like 8% completed on the drive at that point. And I went, oh boy, I hope it's done by morning. Woke up this morning, got ready to do the net, and the drive is sitting here with everything recovered. I started looking through the files, and it was like not a thing on there that I didn't already have backup on. And yeah, so it was a night. It was a good lesson in practice, and I will probably now zero everything out on the drive and dispose of it, or take a sledgehammer to it. But how long should I expect a hard drive to sit and be usable if it's stored properly?
Oh man, there are so many variables. Generally, it's recommended, if you can, to spin up your drive at least once every 6 months.
Nothing like taking my drive for a spin every 6 months. Yeah, let's see. I'm just looking up here to see. Yeah, it's trying to see if there's any information on the drive that's visible to see how old it is right now. But yeah, it's been around a long time. The only thing that lets me know that it maybe has some life left in it, it does have a USB 3.0. So that gives me some indication that at least it's in the last 7 or 8 years.
Well, let's see. USB 3 drives started showing up in around 2011, 2012. I've actually still got an old 4 terabyte drive here from 2012 that I bought on a Black Friday deal, and that's USB 3. So it could be older than that.
Comment? It certainly could be. I'm trying to find here. Looks like it's a Seagate expansion SCSI disk drive. Anyway, don't laugh too hard. It's old. Anyway, well, good morning to you there, Patrick, or Dustin. You have a wonderful day ahead. Always a pleasure. Before I let you go, let's see. No, I think Tom was running the net last night, so maybe Tom will jump in and let us know what happened, or if you want to give us a little overview. I only hopped in and out last night for the All Nodes net.
Well, before I do that, you had a comment.
No, I didn't have a comment. NN6H. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, good morning, Brian and Patrick and everybody else. Yeah, I was going to mention about the technique to put a drive in a freezer. That's probably not, at least not for very long. And if you do that, definitely put it into it with a bag so you don't get condensation inside the thing. Anyway, the reason it probably works is that hard drives have a thing called stiction. Basically, this is where the head actually kind of like seals itself, attaches itself to the drive, the surface of the drive, and a lot of times if the drive does not spin up when you plug it in, when you power up, if it does not spin, that typically is because the head is like frozen to the thing. So maybe putting it into the freezer, would change the temperature thing, and it would kind of unstick it. That may be one of the reasons that works, but there are a lot of reasons why a drive is not recognized by Windows. A lot of times it maybe just sectors going bad, stuff like that, and there are other ways to recover that, which a freezer will not help. But yeah, you need to be really careful. And yeah, it is turning out that hard drives are more reliable as far as retaining data over time than flash drive or SSD drives. They find that the bits and stuff are basically flipping around, and there's issues there. So it's not always the long-term storage. Anyway, back to you there, Brian, NN6H.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense with that thermal, the difference between materials, just like taking a blowtorch to a nut and bolt to free them up. So that makes a lot of sense. Hey, Tom, can I put you on the list here at the end of the list, and we'll get an update on the All Nodes Net?
Yeah, sure, I'll be around, NN6H.
All right, so that frees you up, Patrick, from having to do a replay for us. We'll get Tom here in a few minutes. But anyway, hey, Patrick, thanks for checking in this morning, and good information. Flash media without being powered up at least yearly can cause issues. So thanks for that. Well, top of the morning to you there, Patrick, and you have a wonderful St. Patrick's Day and a wonderful Tuesday. Thanks for dropping by.
Well, top of the morning to you. It ain't morning here anymore. Anyway, agreed with Tom. If your drive isn't clicking and making all sorts of bad noises when you power it up and it's not being recognized for some other reason, then yeah, messing around with temperature variations and putting in the freezer in a Ziploc bag or not isn't going to do much for you. And it's possible that it might not anyway. But anyway, the only thing I will say about last night's net is that I tried to clear for about half an hour after the net, and people just kept finding me, and I wasn't even the guy running the net. Have a good one. AI6US, N2DYI.
They call him Mr. Popular. Yes, Patrick, you do hold a lot of knowledge, and people do track you down. You have a wonderful day. Clear with N2DYI. Good morning, Doug. I know these are quick in and outs. You got it. We treated you wrong. What can I say? W6EK, good morning.
A new definition. I'm going to look it up in the dictionary. Quick and out means under 2 minutes, according to the egg timer. But you know what? In a relativistic world where time can actually dilate, I guess 15 minutes is the same as 2.
Well played. Tell me when the war in the Middle East is going to end, and that's the definition of a quick in and out. Good morning. What do you have for the net? Top of the morning to you. Going to be consuming some green beer today?
I heard that the war was over yesterday. Anyway, there's 2 things. One, I used to have people from the London office at Oracle come over and they would visit, and I introduced them to canned Guinness, and they said, "What is this?" Can't say it on an open mic. And I said, "This stuff is..." And then I went over to England, and they took me to a real English bar, and we sat and drank Guinness from the tap. And I got to tell you, you got to be really careful of that stuff, because not only does it make it wacky, but it'll also plug up your pipes.
And you know, that is stuff that's imported to England. I mean, the real good stuff you have to cross. You have to cross the waterway there. But no, naturally drawn Guinness is quite the experience, and you're right, it is way too smooth and just, you know, served room temperature, and just, I don't know, give me I wouldn't drink a straw, but, you know, the analogy, give me a sipping straw.
I think it was more like, I think I got an IV and I was just hooked up to it. I was waiting for the end of the day when we could go into the pub.
That was back in the good old days. Hey, you know what? I've got a true NAS, and I think that it would be really interesting. And it's fueled primarily with not magnetic disks, but solid state disks. If there's really a difference. Anyway, so I think it would be a lot of fun to have somebody who really knows what they're talking about come to the in the shack and tell us about how to properly manage large storage with state drives. I've got this true NAS, and I have a process that runs constantly that reads files off of it sequentially and copies them to dev null. And I'm thinking, maybe that's not enough in order to preserve the legacy of the data.
Seems like whenever we have a presentation on storage and such, it just comes down to duplicate, 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 duplicate. It's it seems like nobody really has a best practice other than like what Patrick had just mentioned about make sure you exercise your media, on a schedule, and maybe just hitting that data like you're doing isn't the best way. But is there a best practice out there really, other than duplicate, duplicate, replicate, duplicate?
Well, back in the way old days before we had, solid-state drives, I had a team of people who basically spent their careers trying to figure out how to keep really large, back then, the definition of really large storage systems running and how to fail over and blah, 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 blah. And I just want the 2 or 3 terabytes of data that I've got to be safe. And you know what? Really, if I lost all that stuff, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Might be to somebody else, but not to me. Anyway, Brian, you know what? Teresa and I are going to jump on our bikes. We're riding down to the river. I don't think I'm going to think anything about file systems on the way down or the way up. And you and I should chat and see if we can make a plan to you-know-what at you-know-where.
I guess the only question is, do you know when? We'll talk. Excellent. Yeah, we are working in the vault to take care of some products that are in there. We did a battery swap out to lithium ion and disassembling some of the old school stuff and starting to haul it out. So we'll come up with a you-know-when. Doug, have a wonderful day. Take me to the river. W6EK 6US Coffee Break Net. And Tom, go ahead with your comment.
Yeah, I was just going to mention working with SpinRite, which is a disk recovery utility and stuff Steve Gibson has created. I think I mentioned it on this before, but it's a very good utility. But he was redoing that for solid-state drives, and noticed the phenomenon that happens on solid-state drives that constantly reading areas of a solid-state drive that are never written, like the operating system, for example, actually slows down the drive over time, basically because of bit flipping and such. He did a kind of a benchmark on like a drive that basically had the operating system at the beginning of the drive, and then when you actually run benchmarks, speed benchmarks for reading, found that the read speeds were slower on the part that has the operating system, and the part that was actually reading and writing actually was up to speed there, and determined that it's just a bit flipping. So yeah, just constantly reading a drive and sending it to dev null is probably not going to improve the reliability of the drive itself. Anyway, it's just an interesting fact that they came through. And the answer for actually recovering all that stuff was to go through and do a passive rewriting every sector on that drive, and that actually cured the issue. So interesting. Anyone, NN6H.
comment.
Okay, so actually just a read and rewrite and maybe move the sectors around and such. So interesting. Thank you very much. Yeah, I know you've spoken of SpinRite recovery software before, and I have it actually downloaded on my computer, but that isn't what I used yesterday. So I'm not going to keep this data anyway after I saw what I recovered. Thanks, Tom. And Doug, have a wonderful ride down to the river. W2VX AI6US. And good morning, Ron, W2RON, back for your check-in. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. It's W2RON. There is a comment. Somebody made a call for a comment, but I'll just take it for now and then I'll leave. But maybe after I'm finished, you pick up your comment. It's just all very frustrating to me. I'm relatively new to digital stuff, and I just, you called me before. I was listening for quite some time, and then when it came my turn, it wouldn't work. I pushed a button and it just didn't work. So you didn't think I was there anymore. And by the time I had a chance to get back in again, I get so frustrated. Just sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. Whether it's the device or the software or I don't know what it is that causes it. Like I say, I've been kind of new to this. I've been on amateur radio for 6 years, and I never encountered stuff like this before until I started using these devices and these softwares and these different platforms. And I just get all tensed up, and I just don't know what to do about it. I don't know whether it's the unit that I'm using or my procedures or what it is, but I'm losing it here. Anyway, thank you very much and let me come back in. I'm sorry that we weren't able to get back in before, but it wasn't anybody's fault, but something to do with the rig that I was using. So, thanks again. This is W2RON. Over.
Well, Ron, quite often I see that you're coming in through the Fireside East Coast hub. And a lot of times when you're coming in through a bridging type system, and I mean that in a positive way, a system that bridges multiple formats together and has many ingestion points, there is a delay that is just introduced. And sometimes, for example, I think that East Coast Hub and Fireside are great ways to find networks, but quite often you will have a much better experience if you then use these as a resource to find the networks or to find the nodes, and then just go direct onto the node. And so that is quite, you'll have a completely different experience if you're going directly into a node rather than going through a bridging network. So maybe that might be a point of frustration for you, and that might be able to be addressed. So maybe try sometime a node that you're listening to, or a net that's going on. Find out what node they're originating from, and just try going direct and see if it's a different experience for you. Because I know I've gone through bridging networks before, and they have just inherent delays because they are ingesting DMR, different formats, and there is just different timing issues involved. So I don't know if that makes any sense for you, Ron, but that might be something you might try.
It would make sense to me if I understood what you were talking about. I don't know all the ins and outs and all the and how to get places into. You're talking about nodes. I'm just pushing a button, and if I hear somebody and they're within what my equipment can do, I push a button and I get in, or I don't. But when you say maybe you should go and do it this way or that way. What you say is absolutely correct, I'm sure, but I don't know what it means. I just my understanding of this whole thing is very limited. Over.
No, understood. Somebody's keying up there. No, understood. For example, I'll just give you our node number, and you might try connecting directly using our node number instead of going through a network. And so we are on many different networks out there carry our net, and if you just punch in AllStar node number 51018, you will be coming directly into our node and not going through a bridging network. So just try that sometime and just see if you have a different experience. So, for example, our node 51018 connected to the Fireside Network East Coast Hub. Well, many other nodes like yourself are connected to them. So they are the hub of the conversation, but we also maintain another hub, 51018. So, I'll just suggest maybe as an experiment, try direct connecting to our node, 51018, and just see if that timing experience or connection reliability is any different for you. Hopefully that makes a little more sense for you, Ron.
I think he's on Echolink.
I'm on Echolink. I don't even know if I can get into. I do have a device that has DV switch in it, which gives me an all-star opportunity to get into there. But I didn't know how it. I don't know how all these things are linked together and where I need to go to get. If I hear you here or I'm on Echolink, then I assume that I'm going to be able, and that maybe it's being an assumption is not a good thing to do, that I assume that I can get in to talk because I'm hearing you, and in most cases, but to try to think about coming in from some other way, it's just, like I said, I've been doing this for a couple of years, and I haven't learned a darn thing apparently.
Comment.
Well, I think Patrick, pointed out, probably the weak link in your chain there is Echolink is not probably the best way to come into a system. So you mentioned that you have DV switch installed, and DV switch I think would provide a much different and probably better experience for you if you are jumping around from node to node, listening into nets and that sort of thing. So we also have Echolink. We are W6EK Repeater, Echolink 4128. So if you go to our, you can use your Echolink app and come directly into our repeater, and that might be a better path for you. So it can be very frustrating. I understand that. I even get frustrated sometimes. But you just have to think of all of these nodes out there are just big hubs of a wheel spoke. You are just one of those. You're connected to one of those spokes into the hub that may be connected to another hub. And so if you can minimize the number of hubs that you connect through, you can have a much different experience. And from personal experience, Echolink can be a little frustrating, especially trying to key up into a net. So I would recommend maybe try DV switch and connect up to either East Coast Hub, Fireside, using DV switch, or directly up to, say, our node 51018 using DV switch. So hopefully that helps you with a little different experience. And just think of all of these as interconnected hubs. And if you can minimize going from one hub to another hub to another hub, and just shorten that path of your connection, you'll probably have a much better experience. Hopefully that kind of helps you there, Ron. And I acknowledge, Frank, with your comment. We'll catch you in a bit.
Okay, thank you very much. We're gonna.
And there's another problem with going hub to hub to hub. Fireside Network dropped him at 9:50 a.m. What is that? 1650 UTC, and he's probably thinking, poor guy. His experience with running digital has just been knocked down yet another notch. Let's see. KG6 NLW, now that we can't respond to Ron anymore, go ahead.
All right. I'll send Ron an email as well, because I see he has an email listed on QRZ. I was going to suggest have him download Repeater phone if he is on iPhone, or the Android equivalent, which I think is just Android phone or something like that, or and just come into All-Star that way. I know he said he had a TV switch and that sort of stuff, but it seemed like he wasn't totally familiar or confident with it. So I understand that.
Yeah, he did say that he had DV switch installed, but he was using the Echolink app. So, yeah, and of course Echolink can be quite a challenge, you know, having to go through relays occasionally because of your connection, and then the inability to key up, you know, the node, you know, if somebody else, it's a tougher system to work. I know it has a lot of history with a lot of folks, but it's not the best tool in the tool chest, in my opinion, but a lot of people use it, and it gets people on the air, so that works. Thanks, Frank. Yeah, thank you for reaching out to him. Appreciate that.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I always try and help people out with as much as I can. I'm not as great as Patrick or anything, but I definitely have a handful of knowledge bits that I can work with. And, you know, All-Star is the replacement to Echolink. We just need to get everybody caught up. Anyway, I won't keep you. It's 7.5 minutes to the witching hour.
Very good. And, you know, when you do reach out to him, let him know that we did lose him because of the Fireside Network disconnects from their hub, disconnects from our hub at 1650 UTC. So I appreciate it if you included that in your comments to him. Good morning, Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater. Let's see what Tom is up to. Thank you, Tom, for your patience in N6H, and maybe give us an overview of the All Nodes Net last night, if you could.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening. Getting into the All Nodes Net mode here. Good morning again, Brian. Yeah, this is 6H Tom, Discovery Bay. Yeah, and just the comment about Ron and his, you know, if he's running DV Switch, that means he's running on an Android phone. So basically, the two apps are DV Switch for Android and Repeater phone for iPhone. So yeah, he could configure DV Switch if he, you know, went and applied and got and logged on to AllStarLink.org and got an ID. He could then do DV Switch. But yeah, so the All Nodes Net, we had a good All Nodes Net. We announced last night that because of Patrick's help there, that we are on. You know, we have the 3 auxiliary nodes that we use to help kind of balance some of the people that are connecting to the All Nodes Net, since it's become very popular. But we are announced that we have a TGIF, so we actually are on DMR, TGIF Talk Group 6633, which if you look on a keypad, it spells node, N-O-D-E. So yeah, it's so on the TGIF network, and he's also added a D-Star reflector, XLX69C, and we actually had somebody come through on DMR last night, so that was kind of interesting.
that was weird. Somebody was hanging out on the repeater, I guess, keyed up there. But no, copied all of that. TGIF 6633 added DMR path into the system. And how did that sound?
Yeah, the station coming through, I think it was KA2ING, he was coming through pretty well. It was a little bit on the hot side, but actually the audio sounded pretty good.
Interesting. We did not hear that station on the repeater.
Okay, well, anyway, so that was interesting, and then we have, it was kind of interesting, right before I had started the All-Nose Net, I connected to Patrick's 55553, which I always recommend. When I got there, I announced myself, and nothing happened. There was no echo back, there was no parroting, no, your audio level is so-and-so. But there were some other people on there too, and so we basically had a conversation about wondering why the parrot net was not working. The parrot node was not working. So yeah, Patrick's node was down last night, right before the net.
That is a rare one when his when his nodes are down. Okay, well, good. I appreciate that. So TGIF 6633 is another way in for people with the DMR radio to get in to the All-Nodes net. So that's a very good path. Now, my question to you was, what that station that checked in using TGIF, how did the bridge sound?
Yeah, the bridge sounded pretty good. I said the station was KA2ING, and his audio was a little on the hot side, but I mean, it was coming through fine. I mean, it was sounding pretty good. I guess Patrick has to do a little bit of some more work on getting things to show up. Basically being able to show up call signs and stuff between the different systems. But yeah, it's kind of a work in progress. All these nodes, so the 3 auxiliary nodes and the TGIF and the D-Stars are only active during the All-Nodes net for, I think it starts 10 minutes before and probably lasts until about 12 o'clock Eastern time. So they're just connected for the All-Nodes net just to kind of relieve some of the connections that we have. But yeah, it was actually sounding pretty good.
Okay, thank you very much. No, I thought you were responding to somebody else who was coming in that you were hearing currently transmitting. Well, thank you very much and for that report. And I do see W2RON keying up there. We'll be back to you in a moment there, Ron. But thanks, Tom. Appreciate the update on anything else discussed on the All-Nodes net last evening.
Yeah, it was actually a pretty full net. We had a question come up about, well, actually, why would I want to use a node? Why would I actually want to go out and buy a node and get a node? And so kind of went through the pluses and minuses, why a node is important, and also different alternatives like a DV switch and repeater phone. And then somebody else asked, well, what would be the best node to get? And then, of course, it's like, what is the best radio, right? And so, node, and then the Shari node, and AllScan, different solutions there, depending upon if you want something that's totally made commercially and you just kind of plug and play, or if you want to do some heavy lifting and make your own stuff. So, had those conversations. Somebody had a Pi-Star device and was wondering how he could add AllStar to it, which in Pi-Star basically gives you all the digital modes, but does not support AllStar. So that pretty much it would require you getting another radio or another CM108 type of device for that and configuring it separately. So yeah, there was some pretty good discussions.
All right. Well, thank you for kind of giving us a review of that. Yeah, I had heard Ed with some questions last night when I was listening into the net. Wasn't able to stick around for the full one, but Yeah, always an interesting thing when I have a MMDVM Pi-Star unit. How do I get AllStar onto it? And yeah, that's something that Shark RF has been able to do. But I think you need to. A lot of people use those AMBI chipsets to be able to incorporate multiple modes into one device, and a lot of it has to do with just the incompatibility between systems. And yeah, Shark RF seems to have figured that one out. Well, good morning to you, Tom. Thanks for checking in this morning. Thanks for the information that you've shared during the net. And we look forward to you being the net control operator this Friday, which will be the 6th anniversary of the Coffee Break Net. And I've invited all of the net control operators to stop in, and maybe we can share some of our highlights, lowlights, and stories over the past 6 years. So look forward to you being control operator this Friday.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. I was planning to sleep in on Friday, but I guess I'll get up early and start the net. Yeah, and then we can kind of just talk about that. It's amazing, 6 years. I can't believe that it's been that long. But been a great thing and still going, and it's like a lot of popularity there. So congratulations to you there, Brian, for starting that up. So we'll talk about that on Friday, the anniversary. Anyway, thanks for doing the net, and I know that you're at your witching hour here, so I know you probably want to get some other check-ins and then get some breakfast. AI6US 73 and then 6H.
No, appreciate you and all the other net control operators. Just we do a great job working between the team to fill in and give some people some flexibility on their days off, and it's just a great thing that you guys are willing to keep the conversations going and participate in that. So thank you. Clearing with NN6H, Tom, over in Discovery Bay this morning. I'm AI6US. Let's check back in with W2RON. Ron, you probably heard, I'm glad you found us again, but yes, at 1650, the East Coast Reflector Fireside drops our net and switches over to another net. So I'm glad you found us again. We'll wrap up the conversation. Back over to you there, Ron.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, that was another thing. I didn't know what happened. I was talking, and then I sent it back, and nobody was there. And somebody did mention that you went away. And these things are also new to me, and I just don't understand it. I'm surprised I was able to get in here where we are now. I'm on a tablet now. Before I was on a radio, what do you call a talk pod, and I had Echolink in there. Now I'm on a tablet, and I got the Twitch on here. I don't know how to use AllStar on here except in the web transceiver mode. Now, many times I put in a number, and it says we don't allow web transceiver mode here. So there's many places I can't go, and I won't know until I try it whether I'm going to be allowed to come in or not, because the only way I know how to use DV Switch with AllStar is through the web transceiver mode. So, I can't get a dedicated radio or a dedicated device for every single thing I want. I wouldn't have enough money. But, I hoped that different devices I had could handle doing different things with different platforms, and I just I don't know what I need to do to be able to work more efficiently everywhere. Over.
Well, I know that Frank had mentioned that he was going to reach out to you. KG6NLW was going to drop you an email, and he was willing to kind of give it a little behind-the-scees primer on this type of thing. But there are single devices out there that do all, and like Shark RF, the M1KE. It's a single device that allows you to get on the digital modes as well as analog. And so a lot of people, it's a newer product. It's not the cheapest product, but it is a single product that is all you need is a internet connection through your Wi-Fi or through your phone hotspot, whatever, and then you can do that. So anyway, I would highly suggest that what you're on right now is TV switch and web transceive. Some repeater owners do not allow it because it's hard to control, because people can bypass some of the control that not able to always block an interfering station, and so some repeater operators do not do that. Just like we don't accept higher LP anymore. So anybody out there, it's just a progression over time. But anyway, hopefully your connection with Frank will help give a little clarity, and I'll just suggest every Monday evening, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, here on node 51018. We have the All Nodes Net. The All Nodes Net is where we talk about and help people who have questions just like what you have about, how do I navigate? How do I get around? And so, just for your own reference, I would suggest you look up the Shark RF website and the M1KE. It's a newer device on market, but it is kind of a Swiss Army knife that communicates with basically any format out there. So hopefully we can give you some understanding on that, Ron. So I'm going to throw it over to you for a final. We're in overtime right now, so I just wanted to get back to you and let you know you hadn't connected up, and we've all had a learning process. So back over to you, Ron, for your final. Well, saw you key up there for a moment. There he is.
This is really. I'm clicking this thing, and it's coming in, and it's going away. I don't know. Thank you very much for that. Whoever it is that's going to be contacting me, hopefully it'll work out okay. It seems like emails take forever to get done. You wait and you send one, and the other person maybe doesn't realize he's got something, and it takes a day before you get an answer, and then you have another question, and you send it back again, and you don't look at your emails right away. Before you know it, it's weeks go by, and you haven't gotten anywhere. The M1KE, I've heard mixed reviews on that as far as being, it's a very, very good unit as far as the software that's in it, and it works great. But I understand the build quality is really bad on that thing. If you're not really, really, really careful, which you shouldn't have to be that careful, if you touch the display, sometimes it falls into the unit, and then you're in trouble. Or the C connect on the bottom is a bad connection, or it breaks off the board that's inside very easily if you're not just handling it just so. So I don't know that I want to spend $400 on an item, $380, whatever it's costing today, and then wind up with something that's made that cheaply. It's very, very, very poor as far as that's concerned. Although I've heard many people say nothing about that, and others say, "Oh, it's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. It's like a toy." So I don't know. It's not. I don't think it's the unit I want to take a chance on. Anyway, thank you very much. We won't hold it any longer. I just wish I had less navigation problems with all these things and a lot more understanding about what's going on. But thank you very much for your input, and I really appreciate it. So thanks again. This is W2R. Oh, and by the way, maybe years ago things would have come easier for me, but they say as you get older, and I just turned 88, maybe there's something to do with that that's causing me to find it difficult to navigate around over.
Well, Ron, the sun does come up every day, and some people may complain about it because it gives them cancer. Other people enjoy the warmth from it. So all of our vision on life. I don't know what to say to you. I know dozens of people now that have the M1KE, and I've never heard the experiences that you're having. I have no relationship with them, but I know that people love them. So anyway, that was your final. I'm going to throw it over to your final. I do need to get going. We're past the top of the hour. I need to be closing the net. But yeah, drop on in, and I know that Frank has sent you an email. So I can't debate whether people respond to emails in a timely manner. That's acceptable to all. But I don't know what to say. Anyway, Ron, W2RON AI6US. You have a great day. 7-3.
AI6US, W2RON. Well, number one, just thanks so much, very much, for trying to be helpful, and I really do appreciate it. And if I can get something out of it, why, it wasn't a total loss for you. You really bending over backwards to try to give me a hand. I appreciate it. And I will watch for my email, and yeah, I just don't want to gamble on that radio, on that device. And if I get one that the display falls in or the seat connected goes wacky, I mean, I mentioned it, somebody said, well, I warned you about it. I told you, but maybe that was just a run that they had that was not good, but I don't know. They even tell you in there, be careful with the display. Now, if they know they got a problem, why don't they fix it instead of telling you to be careful with it? Fix the darn thing so people don't wind up throwing their money away. 73, thank you very much. And I've made a note of this node. I guess you call it a node. I don't know about nodes or whatever, but I made a notation, and I will be checking in from time to time. Thank you so much. W2RON, Ron in Vermont, 73. Thank you.
All right, Ron, you have a wonderful day, and we'll check in again with you sometime soon. That's W2RON, and I know that Frank mentioned that he has an email on its way to you, so good luck. Good morning, Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater. Just a reminder, the Loomis Ham Fest for everybody in the Northern California, Nevada, Southern Oregon area. I know a lot of people come to this one. The Loomis Ham Fest coming up March 28th. Sellers 6 a.m., buyers 7 a.m. at the historic Loomis train station in Loomis, California. And by the way, SFARC members, we still need volunteers, so if you haven't volunteered yet, we need you, all hands on deck. And let's see, with that, I'm going to go ahead and just throw it out there. This is going to be, I'm going to quick last call for the log. I know a lot of people are standing by waiting to get in. Please spread them out. Let's get stations wanting to get in the log for the Coffee Break Net.
AI6,
with Uniform Studio.
Delta Echo Foxtrot. Top of the morning to you. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I will be having some car bombs for everybody. and a couple Guinnesses here about noon. You guys have a blessed day. W6EK.
This is Kilo Bravo 7 Delta Foxtrot Papa KB7 DFP Cannon Twin Falls Mobile Steam Digs 8, and the M1KE is pretty awesome.
Kilo Mike 6 Mike for the log, please.
Lima Golf, Ida log.
For the log.
Charlie Golf.
Uniform Sierra Hotel. And a rare treat listening to the East Coast Reflector this morning. Have a nice day. Wear green. KN6USH.
Kilo November 6 SNG for the log.
All right, I'm going to stop check-ins there for a moment. We'll do a little cleanup. Somebody was checking in from W6GRC Orland Repeater. Let me get your call, and then I'll come up and clean up some of the other calls. Somebody coming in through the Orland W6GRC Repeater?
KK6 SNG coming in through Orland.
All right, KK6SNG, nice signal into Orland Repeater. Thanks for checking in. KN6YCG, good morning to you. I think that's Patrick. Got you in the log. KN6USH, good morning to Mike. Got you in the log. Drive safely. Have a wonderful day. K4LGI, good morning to Sam. Top of the morning to you. Happy St. Patrick's Day. KA6UAI, good morning to Ron. You are in the log. You have a wonderful Tuesday. KM6MM, good morning, Mike. Mike, you're in the log. You have a wonderful day ahead. Happy St. Patrick's Day. KB7DFB, steamed eggs and ham. Is that green eggs and ham this morning, Ken?
Oh, no, just steamed eggs and toast.
I think you need to get out the green dye. Green eggs and ham on toast sounds good. Ken, have a wonderful day. Got you in the log. That's KB7DFP Twin Falls. Good morning, Darren. W6DEF, going to be lifting a pint at noon. Good for you. You have a wonderful day. WU6H, good morning to Ryan. You have a wonderful St. Patrick's Day. Good morning. Let's see. Looking at the, I think I got everybody off of AllStar. No, it looks like maybe N9MUF had a comment. Go ahead.
Just a comment on the calling certain drinks car bombs. Having worked in Belfast and been on the edge of areas that were, well, let's just say I'm a little too familiar with the wall. It's one of these things where if you grew up in it, you can laugh about it or make those comments, but to call it a car bomb is really considered offensive, especially on St. Patrick's Day. N9MUF.
Yeah, obviously something you heard that I did not hear. So, that is that is a tough one for people to hear. Absolutely, a little more sensitivity. Thanks, appreciate that. All right, let's open it up for another round. This is for the log only Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater and connected nodes and repeaters.
A6GBZ.
Recheck, WW6DF. I meant Irish car bomb. I apologize. Have a blessed day.
Yeah, Darren, I didn't even hear your comment. There was such a pile up on you. So, I'm sure nothing was meant. But, good understanding there. Thanks. K6GBZ, good morning to you. And let's see, I think that's a new call for me. Let me just pound it in into the log here, and GBZ. No, that's Tom, K6GPZ. Got you in the log there, Tom. Thanks for checking in this morning. Good morning. Last call for the log for the Coffee Break Net. Any takers?
Alpha Delta 6, Charlie, Quebec.
Good morning, Brian. KO6EKW for the log only. 7-3 stall.
Cape Bravo 3, Charlie Sierra Yankee for the log, and no tornado yesterday, Brian. Thanks.
Good to hear there, Rick. WB3CSY checking in. No ruby slippers sticking out from underneath your house. Good to hear that. And no tornado. Good morning, Ramon, KO6EKW. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you. And good morning, 86CQ. Good morning there, Mike, and got you in the log as well. Last call for the log, Coffee Break Net. Last call. All right. That's it for our Tuesday edition of the Coffee Break Net. Thanks, everyone, for stopping by today. Some good conversation, some good information exchange. And everyone, have a wonderful, responsible St. Patrick's Day. And like I shared earlier, a joke I heard was, with the price of gas, drink, don't drive. I think Guinness is cheaper per gallon than fuel right now. Anyway, everybody have a wonderful St. Patrick's Day ahead. Thanks for being part of the Coffee Break Net this morning. The Coffee Break Net, where the sun is always shining, the birds are singing, and the fish are jumping. This net is sponsored by the Sierra Foothills Amateur Radio Club. We're here every day of the morning, 7:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Time. That's 1430 to 1700 UTC. With that, everyone, have a wonderful day ahead, and we'll catch you again tomorrow. I'll be back as your net control operator, conversation facilitator again tomorrow. One more thing. This day, join us for a special edition of the Coffee Break Net, our 6-year anniversary. Hard to believe, huh? Almost 73,000 check-ins over the past 6 years. So join us on Friday, where Tom NN6H will be net control operator, and I've invited all of the net control operators to stop in and maybe share a story or a memory of something that has happened on the Coffee Break Net over the past 6 years. Good morning, everybody. I'm Brian, AI6US, returning the W6EK repeater and connected nodes and repeaters back to normal operation, whatever that may be. Have a great Tuesday, everybody. 7-3. Top of the morning to you.
Every day of the morning, huh, Brian? Okay. Well, how many pints you had this morning? Have a great day. And W2RON, if you're still listening, I sent you that email, and I'm on top of emails all the time unless I'm sleeping. KG6NLW.
Alaskan, if I recall, and was connected, it sounded like, I know another net, I think it was probably the Alaskan net, and it's Ruby, RUBYBLUE.com, and I'm going to send it back, KCFQV.
Well, that was a perfect double. Didn't catch much from anyone. So anyway, I'll throw it back to you guys. You can work out the details. I am going to bio break and breakfast. So there we go. AI6US. Sorry, guys. I am QRT.
All right. Let's see if I get it here. Every day of the morning, huh, Brian? How many pints you had this morning? Have a great day. KG6 and LW.